On his first day as a personal bodyguard, he noticed security vulnerabilities. Despite having an underground parking garage, the VIP's car was parked on the surface, exposing the Home Secretary to open areas and increasing the risk of attack. During his introduction, he suggested parking in the underground garage next time. Politicians need to show themselves publicly to gain visibility, which is bad news for bodyguards. His job was personal protection officer. While Julia worked in her office, he stood outside, scanning passers-by and staying alert. When Julia left work after dark, he had to accompany her until that time. On the way home, he sat in the passenger seat monitoring road conditions. When he instructed the driver to take a certain route, Julia told the driver to take the usual route instead. Julia seemed defensive and unfriendly. David was not weak or blindly compliant. Outside Julia's apartment, security personnel were already stationed. Yet he still got out early to observe the surrounding area before opening the car door for Julia. After entering the building, he asked Julia to wait at the entrance while he checked the premises. Julia quickly became impatient, yet David continued his inspection. In the study, he noticed a photo of Julia with former British Prime Minister David Cameron. While Julia was working, she read a report about the train terrorist attack from a few days earlier. The report mentioned that an off-duty police officer had discovered a human bomb on the train and prevented the attacker from detonating through peaceful communication. The officer was named David Budd, the very bodyguard protecting her today. She awkwardly shook hands with David in reconciliation. Soon after, security monitoring downstairs notified David through the intercom that someone familiar was visiting the Home Secretary. David went to answer the door. Outside was Julia's special advisor, who brought takeout food and came to discuss work. David's work was finished, so he asked Julia for permission to leave. Before departing, David noticed the special advisor had also brought some gifts, seemingly trying to curry favor with Julia. Regardless, these matters were none of his concern. Julia's security responsibility was transferred to the Diplomatic Protection Group, so he was off duty. David returned alone to his apartment, which felt somewhat cold and empty, with his children's drawings on the walls. Soon he called his wife, who responded coldly and didn't want to talk. She suspected David had been drinking and remembered past occasions when he called her drunk, causing her distress. They had experienced too many unpleasant moments together, so she hung up. The next day, David accompanied Julia to the television station where she was about to be interviewed. The special advisor who had brought gifts the night before was also there, flattering Julia. Just then, an assistant brought Julia coffee and accidentally spilled it, staining Julia's clothes. David couldn't stand watching anymore. He loosened his tie and took off his own clothes for Julia to wear. Knowing Julia needed to change clothes, David immediately turned away.